Are you in a toy kind of mood? You better be, because this is the new show from GodHatesGeeks.com. I'm Travis Moody, and I'm here with my man from New Bedford, Massachusetts, New Beige guy, not too far from Boston, my man Ronnie. What's up?
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Introduce yourself to the geeks and freaks out there.
Well, my name's Ron Lecuyer. I'm a lifelong collector of all things toys, geeks. I was born in the 80s, kid, so of course I grew up with everything from He-Man, Ninja Turtles, Star Wars, and beyond.
Sweet. Well, as you can see in the background, there's going to be a lot of Star Wars, but we're not just going to focus on that, are we, Ronnie?
Nope. In this new adventure of ours, what we're going to do is we're going to be covering a lot of topics around toys, Star Wars figures, Marvel, product lines, pretty much everything Hasbro has to offer for the most part. Select releases we're going to be covering, such as like toy events, any kind of toy cons that come up, NECA exclusive products, all the way maybe even hot toys if there's ever like a big release that is viable to our content that we cover.
Absolutely.
We're also going to do the exclusive, certain exclusive shows themed based on nostalgia and other products like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll do all kind of different formats because in the toy world, everything changes. 1 week, it's a blast of like Hasbro Pulse has 5 Fan First Fridays in a week, and there's only one Friday each week, but they want to do 5 Fan First Tuesday, Fan First Wednesday. We've joked about that so many times. And so that's going to be like the massive week where we just focus on that. And then some weeks they're not going to announce shit. So we may like pull out a toy and review it. Not like fully like going like ball joints. No, we're not going to go crazy, but we'll say, hey, this was a great toy because of this and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and nothing beats the Target versus collector saga that we've made infamous on Facebook the last month or so. We'll get into that. That's our meat and potatoes on the show. But what kind of mood are you in right now, Ronnie? Besides being in a toy kind of mood, because we're always in a toy kind of mood over here.
Yep. Basically, we're going to be covering moods of the average collector, such as us. We have things, some things make us happy, some things make us upset. When you wait in a virtual queue for your chance to pre-order something and it goes out in 30 seconds, that's not a good mood, I would say.
No. And it could carry on for a long time because then, you hit the stores, the scalpers are camping out, they're getting there early. It's a lot different. This world is a lot different than like video games. You know what I mean? Like video games, there are occasions where special editions, collector's editions do sell out. So it's very, very similar to the memorabilia that we're talking about. But in general, you're more mad about a reveal or a bad game, but then you go and play a good game. So you're kind of over it fast, where the action figure world can really make you moody. That's what we're going to go all about. But we're going to start off with the mild. And we're in the mild mood, Ronnie. This morning, there was a little bit of news. We're going to be very prevalent here. So tell us about what Hasbro did with the. Actually, Hasbro didn't do a damn thing, but all the fan channels this morning were like, "Hey, look what happened."
Yep. Well, in a way, Hasbro kind of had, I would say, a hand in that mood.
Oh, absolutely.
The mild mood, because they're releasing more products, in the short run. So what's happening is, if some of those people that were waiting for, Commander Wolf and paying $70 for a loose fig or those hard to get, right? I can see them from here. They look awesome.
I'm like, where am I pointing to? This weird camera? I'm like, okay,
right?
Yeah. There's Wolf, the $70 loose Wolf on eBay.
Yeah.
Yep. And then now he's $20 today. Great. Awesome.
Yep. He got released today on a lot of third-party sellers. A lot of the pre-order dates, they're pre-orders, and a lot of them I've noticed are scheduled for the first of the year. But that signs that Hasbro is going to be releasing more product on the shelves.
Yeah, that's a placeholder though, right? 1/1/21.
Usually the 1/1 is a placeholder for the first quarter. Just like now, if you bought something and it says December 16th, that would usually be between now and the end of the year. Anybody familiar with toys or even video games, those dates are usually placeholder dates. But they wouldn't be allowed to sell put those placeholders up, if they weren't notified that there was some manufacturing being done. Which again is good for people that didn't have it. Kind of sucks for those that within this pandemic we've had, everybody's been collecting like crazy. So, you know, like you, I mean, look what you know, tell us about your
this
story
was
about.
not here in February.
Yeah.
I had one Detolf. Thank you, Lance Paul from GHE, giving me his other one. He sold all his toys. Some people either just like dry cleaned all their shit. I sold tons of stuff, but not many toys. And I just picked up stuff. I'm like, I'm home. I got time. I got time to fill in my collection. That's what I'm going to do because I got nothing else to do besides game and collect toys. So that's kind of where we're at is, I mean, you said you've been around for 20 years doing this collecting. So nothing has really changed for you in the pandemic, right? Or a little bit. I mean, how's your collecting now
Versus
like January and February? Are you still in the same boat since you've always been a collector or?
Yep, I've always been a collector. I mean, I have fond memories of standing in line midnight releases at Toys R Us, waiting for that, you know, that you know, Commander Kree Greens Toys R Us edition kind of thing. Mainly, honestly, what's happened is an increase because the collecting scene has really just become ablaze since the pandemic. Everybody's home. Everybody has. I mean, it's economically we're not a good place as a country, but people have expendable cash, and they want something that will cheer them up.
Yeah.
So the collector scene is just vibrant. I mean, I've gotten more deals and more figures now than I have, I would say, 3 or 4 years worth in a matter of 6 months.
Okay, so there has been an impact even on the long-term collector. So that's very important because there's so many new collectors, especially with this G.I. Joe line that people are going crazy about. And plenty of other toy lines as well. I mean, we even go to wrestling. There's the AEW. Even I watch every week on Being the Elite, and the Young Bucks are going to Walmart every week, and they're like, we can't even buy our own toy. It's like a running gag. They see Cody Rhodes and Kenny and whatnot, and they're like, all right, we'll buy those. And they're like, but we can't buy our own toy. They're selling out. Like, it's so funny how just toys are just taking off in this pandemic.
Yep.
And yeah, of course, most TBS, otherwise known as the Black Series collectors like me, before pandemic, these things were boxed up. And then I just went, it was like, oh, okay, let's get pretty with it and let's catch up. And yeah, we're getting $1,200 for free. So what are we going to do with it? So it's like, we're going to, I had 30 Black Series before. Now there's like 90.
I mean, I will say too, the companies they've caught on. You know, we've never had this many toy releases in this short amount of time. I mean,
every day, every day.
Never. Hasbro, with their 5 days a week, pretty much at one time. It was, you know, Marvel Monday all the way to Fan Friday, and it was everything in between. I think we had a joke going at one time during our chat that we have. It was we have a group, pretty much a toy collecting chat that we have, and I'm sure
Toy-Kanda forever.
Yeah, right. Right now it's going. We're doing a little tribute to, you know, our buddy there, and
Chadwick Boseman. Yep.
Yes, it's a little touchy because we're all a fan here, but I will say that we will have guests on from that chat here and there, and we're all pretty much into the gaming scene. I mean, into the toy scene, and there you go.
Remember when I said I'd never collect Marvel Legends because I have Marvel Universe? I think I said that a week ago. Well,
you did.
There's T'Challa right there. I couldn't help myself, and I got 3 more of these on the way.
Yep.
So,
but like I said, we have 5 days a week now, some weeks of new releases. So the toy companies have caught on. So of course that's good for us as collectors. You know, there's things, there's deals, and going back to the good mood, the mild mood, where what's going on with these figures that are being re-released. One of those toy companies is Big Bad Toy Store, Dorkside, all these secondhand distributors.
Entertainment Earth, yep.
Exactly, yep. I've been able to get some figs that I wasn't able to get. I also was able to get dupes on certain things because, as you said, you display your toys on right behind you. I'm a box guy. I think when you opened up your Baroness, for example, I died a little inside.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, Ronnie. Before we go any further, I have a gift for you. Because that's the only way to start a new show. And we are going to explore Cobra Island in our main event. So this is the infamous toy that's taken off worldwide. And we are going to dig deep into the travesties of this. So here you go. Oh, wait a second, Ronnie. It's just, you said you collect boxes. You love boxes. So here you go. I will gladly pay for shipping to send you this box. Sorry, Ronnie.
Well, give it a month or two, and that box will probably be $100. So save it.
Well, the figure is worth $50K if you've got the
Yeah.
glasses variant.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Even
Unbelievable.
people who know nothing about pop culture at all are like going crazy over this
Yeah.
thing, over
Yeah. I mean,
Baroness. She's become
we're
the
gonna do.
most.
Yeah, we're gonna do stories, I know, throughout the show where we're gonna go back and tell our own little. And you saying that about the scalpers aspect and people not knowing, put a pin in that, because I have a story of me waiting in line in front of a scalper in front of me. I can share with everybody later on.
Oh yeah, let's do it. So mild mood, because if you went and spent $150 on Wolf on eBay, you're not happy today. And a lot of people were rush, and people, you're getting the laugh emojis because people are trying to like sell their shit on Facebook. Like, you idiot, it's $20 on Entertainment Earth. No one's gonna pay $150. So it's like if you bought I paid like $45 for Grievous, or $50. Now it's like 30 or something. So you know what? For me, I've already paid for them. There's no, I mean, what am I going to do? Sell a used toy and put it all back to make like another $10 maybe, or 20? Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to skip it. It's already in the bag. Move on, right? There's plenty more TBS toys coming out pretty soon. But we'll get to the good. Sticking with the Black Series, those Galaxy Edge figures weren't that impossible to get. Some people had issues the night of, but it was no G.I. Joe Cobra Island classified from Target. That's for sure, Ronnie.
Yeah, I would agree for sure. I know people that were in our group alone, they were able to find them. They're restocking. I think they understand that if they put the companies that distribute and all the way down to the retailers, they understand if they put product on the shelves, we're going to buy them. The secondhand market has been ruling the roosts the past 6 months, as you know, like I said. So we're glad to see it. We're glad to see that they're in stock. If they're not in stock now, people are keeping a beautiful fig right there. That's one of my favorites out of the
Not
Galaxy
too bad.
Edge
Let me see
series.
how close I can get to the camera there. That's a pretty good looking stormtrooper.
It is. I like the wood damage, scuff, and all that. It's cool.
Yeah, it's
The
a
battle
cool.
damage.
Yeah, the mountain trooper. Got
Yeah.
another one coming my way too. So yeah, I mean, and it shipped fast. I mean, you had to be fast with these, but not 8 seconds bot fast.
No.
I mean,
and
it
people
could
are
take
able
a
to get
couple
them.
minutes. Huh?
Yep. And people are able to get them in store. I mean, they're showing up on shelves where, like you said, we're going to go into it, but certain other lines, there's people in camp tents outside Target waiting for certain line of products. I mean, and they're only getting a handful in store, and there's madness. There's enough where I'm seeing them pop up every other day. Only a few at a time, but they are available if somebody wants to.
Yeah, Hondo is the hot one right now. That's the one going for the most money on the second market, but he's not impossible to find. If you do your pop finder and your research and you're lucky enough not to deal with someone holding the toy for themselves in the back room, which we'll get into in a bit, you should be able to get a hold of them. Just to let everyone know, Pyre, the golden stormtrooper, the gold, I should say, Commander Pyre. This is all part of like the Disney packs from the Galaxy's Edge theme park stuff. So instead of the 3-pack, which was with like Kylo Ren, now we're able to get them individually at $25. They're bumping it up because Disney's got to get that theme park money somehow. So they're getting 20% of the cut for every figure, Disney is, instead of Target. So Pyre will be here in October. So that's good news. Bad news, sorry everyone, I'm really sorry about this, but the bots got all the toilet paper and all the Lysol wipes this morning. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm very
apocalyptic.
sorry. No, that was like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I bought toilet paper today. It was so easy. I was like, yes, this is way easier than G.I. Joe Classified.
Yep, we're giving it out as birthday gifts. We've stocked so much and we didn't need it.
Exactly. I think we still have, my roommate and I, we still have toilet paper from like March or something, because we like fucking got tons. We got like a room full of it.
Us too, a cold closet.
But speaking of, all right, so the bad news is if you check out godhatesgeeks.com, you can read all about this. We won't go too heavy into it so we can move on. But we got to wait after all that. Wave 2 sneaking in early with G.I. Joe Classified. Some of us were lucky enough to get Gung Ho and the Red Ninja, the elusive Red Ninja, and also Cobra Commander and whatnot. And now after that, we're waiting for what we think is wave 3, but it could be wave 4. It depends if the Cobra Island counts because it's an exclusive. So we don't know if it's 3 or 4. We're getting different reports. I know an Australian website was like, hey, you can pre-order these now for their currency. It was like $60 a piece. But anyway, it's Lady J, Zartan, a retail Cobra Trooper.
Right.
For me, I have 2. I'm not an army builder, but I'd love to see a variant or a classic. I don't want, because I think if it's in a different box, a different package, I'm going to be upset because I'm going to be like, oh no, I have to get one even though I don't need it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Kind of that thing.
It wouldn't surprise us though, because it wouldn't surprise us because I mean we're seeing that in the Black Series line, reboxing the same figs,
repacks, and then a movie. This is the most polarizing. A movie Storm Shadow, not the classic one. This one's more Yakuza meets Sub-Zero, and I'm perfectly okay with that because I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. It's not good. Yeah, I can see you rolling your eyes. You're not too happy about that one.
No, it's just more stuff by small variants for us to have to spend money on if you want a collection. And by doing variants, they know it's going to limit the supply. People, scalpers are going to be trying to upsell. And they're not just, especially being exclusives if they are, where they are.
Yeah.
It all adds, in the bottom line, in my opinion, that makes it bad as a fan or a collector. I mean, if you're a person that, like you, that wants to open it up and just have it to have and not to make a mint, that could cause a choke point for fans to not be able to get their hands on it like we've seen already.
Yeah. So far, I know the movie Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes from insiders that we know said they were in the target system, but they no longer are. I don't know if I'm going to get it because I'm committed to buying this whole line now. I'm kind of at that point with the Black Series, unless there's like 10 more Lukes and 10 more Han Solos. But as far as classified, I am committed. I mean, I've already almost bought 3 Cobra Commanders. Just waiting for the Supreme Snake. But a movie, Snake Eyes, like I have 2 of them. Like unless you include Timber, what are you giving me differently? A bike? I mean, I don't know what else. But also found in the target system that surprised some people that these weren't released on that AFI website were Flint, Major Blood, and Barbecue. They were in the target system, but we have no other info. Maybe we'll get some at Hasbro Pulse Con, which we will cover the end of September. So that's a 2-day con.
Yep, HasCon as I went to the first HasCon live, and we've been waiting for any kind of HasCon type reveals ever since. And now with the pandemic, we know there was not going to be any kind of live convention. This HasCon Pulse digital event is, like I would say last year they actually announced that this year they would have HasCon, physical HasCon. And then of course with the pandemic and everything happening, it went dead silent. And like you said, now they've announced that they are having a HasCon Pulse event kind of thing.
Hasbro Pulse Con, yep.
Hasbro Pulse Con, yeah. We're going to see, I think they're holding those big announcements for this. You know, we're going to see a more line, more in depth, probably get some actual dates, which would be great. Hopefully there'll be less Target exclusives, but I have a feeling that they've cornered the market for exclusive as of right now.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, after the debacle that brought us kind of mad, then kind of happy, depending on our success. And then overall, it's just been silly. We are in a silly mood over this Target versus G.I. Joe collector debacle, the memes, the stories, the ones you can see right on the screen right now. Just craziness. There's scandals, Ronnie. Tell us about those. Scandals.
A lot of
scandals with action figures. G.I. Joe's a thing that was cool in the 80s. Talk to me, Ronnie.
I know. We had them in the 80s. We stuffed them in the mud. We put firecrackers on them. There was no scandals.
Why
you ain't kidding.
Ball joints,
I don't know about anybody else, but I did. I put firecrackers in my freaking destroyer tank, and there you go. But scandals, yeah. There's a big problem right now. A lot of it, can't really prove it, but it's been things that have happened in the past. Target exclusives, there. People, like you said, there's apps that you can track inventory. And what's happening is inventory isn't making it off the truck, as they say. Yeah, I love it.
This is my Target face. When I'm
nice.
going shopping to Target, let me
awesome.
talk to a manager.
Yep.
No.
Yep. With technology.
Do you have the DPCI for the Red Ninja? Can't you
Yep.
tell what I'm here for? I'm here for Lysol and toilet paper. So get me a gung ho.
Right. Yeah, but I guess what's happening is that, with technology today, we're able to track information, man. It's at your fingertips. So we know what's coming in inventory. We're able to track shipments and know what a certain store in a certain area is getting a product. And when you're told, when you're waiting in line for 5 hours wait for a store to open, or if not, some people have been camping out, and you're the first person in, and you're told, oh no, yeah, exactly, no sir, we don't have none, no ma'am, we don't have any. But you're looking at it, the inventory on your phone. Well, you said you have 5. Well, I don't know what to tell you is what they're saying. So, I mean, I know you've experienced in line, you've waited in line and whatnot. And, I mean, tell me one of your stories of you waiting in line, or what have you seen?
Well, overall, I mean, if you know me, you've been following on Facebook, it hasn't been too bad. I think I've been to a total of 5 targets and only failed once. I had to drive about 28 minutes. It's not far, but that's just LA traffic. Even in the pandemic, I went to La Cienega and they said they had 9 Baroness. And I'm like, oh, and usually I always call first. I think that call caused me the Baroness that day, because that 10 minutes that I was calling and nobody was answering, because I don't blame them. They're told, don't answer the phone because everyone's calling about G.I. Joes and we got a pandemic. We got old people we got to take care of. Totally fine. I get it. But they didn't answer the phone, and then I'm like, fuck it, 9. There's 9. I go there, and some guy has 1, and I'm like, where'd you get it? Because I'm looking all around, we're going crazy. He's got it, and he's like, dude, I took the last one. I was like,
heartbroken.
Really? I just drove. And like, usually I go to Target if I don't get what I want. I buy groceries. I like Target. I buy stuff there. I just left. I drove there and I left and came home. And then the next day in North Hollywood, they had 6. And I don't know if you heard the story or not, but I got there at 6:37. They open at 8. No, there was no like the vulnerable hours or anything. So they opened at 8. I got there almost 90 minutes early. Okay, crazy. Another collector comes in line. And he's like, oh, you were here first. You're cool, whatever. We start talking. And then he's like, are you in any of the collector groups or G.I. Joe collector group? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in this. I'm Travis Moody. And he goes, I know you. He's like all excited. His name's Kevin. What up, Kevin? I know you're going to watch this. So Kevin J. Johnson, that's my guy. So anyway, he's in line and we're talking to him like, this is cool. At least I know the guy behind me. So he's probably not going to run in front of me unless he turns on me like Shawn Michaels did to Marty Jannetty in the Beefcake Barbershop. So we're hanging out, and then another guy comes in, another collector type, and he knows him. He's like, hey, Matt is the same guy that was in the photo Christian shared from the day before in the chat room. It's
I remember
like,
that.
we're all in this fucking circle of people. So,
yep. So Matt, was that Kevin from our group?
No. That's not Kevin.
But Matt was.
But no, that day I sent that Kevin to Van Nuys because he lives in Chicago.
I remember, yeah.
I literally sent him. I'm like, I'll pay you extra. And he's like, oh, no, you're my friend. I'll do it. He's a good guy. We're in the pandemic. We're all in this together. He went, and it's just like Target hunting. Target, it's just crazy. So he went there, and he got a Baroness. But I was already like, hey, I'm good over here. Because basically 3 more had joined us in the line. And I'm like, guys, I got this. Manager is like opening the blinds and the shutters and everything. And I'm just like, come here, bud. He comes out. We start talking. I'm like, hey, man, if you don't know, he's like, what are you guys here like so early? And I'm like, oh, the Baroness and all these. He's like, he had no clue. He had no clue. And he was honest about it. And I'm like, this is how it's going to go down. I didn't even ask. I'm just like, this is how it's going to go down. I was like, if you haven't heard, people are running in Target stores during this pandemic. They're fighting each other. They're racing to the toy aisle. I was like, look, we've been here for at least an hour, half an hour, an hour and a half, and we got 6. He's like, here's a DPCI. He comes out just like this. He's got his Baroness and he's holding it. We're all like, oh my God, like, oh shit. And somebody's like, I just want to take a picture of you. He's like a fucking manager, my boy Mario. And they're like, want to take a picture of Mario with the Baroness. They're all excited. So I'm like, all right. So he's like, look, we've got 6. Because I joked at first, he had the 1, and I'm like, sorry, guys, I got the 1. He's like, we got 6. We're all going to put it at customer service, and we're going to walk you there. And I'm like, yeah. Wow. And everyone's like, man, thank you so much for talking to him. I was like, it's not that hard to talk to people.
We're all human, honestly.
Even with the mask on, hey, buddy, can you go get me a Baroness? Like, please. So anyway, if you put the fear of God in them and tell them we're grown-ass men that are going to probably run and fight over a toy, they would rather just hold it for you. So, yeah. I mean, before that, I had to go to, and I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I went to Beverly Hills because they had Wave 2. So Wave 2 is like, wasn't even supposed to come out forever, but it wasn't street dated. It was just released early from Target.
Let me say real quick.
Go ahead.
We do not condone any kind of violence towards these guys or the fear of God in them. Just an expression. We don't say go out and beat up your Target employees, even though you.
Oh no, that's not what. No, I said, dude, if we don't get our Baroness, it's gonna be a super kick party, super kick. Anyway, no. He was cool. That's not what we meant. I meant like, hey, look, other Targets are dealing with a lot of shit.
Yep,
We're all
a lot of jerks out there.
We know each other, and we're all cool. So we don't know about the 80 people. There was literally, someone said that was the longest line for Target they've ever seen. It went around the building. But the 6 of us were there for like, when the 6th guy got there, we were like, you got the golden ticket. It was so crazy. He was like the happiest guy. And then that guy is in one of my other chat rooms. It was like, I just knew everyone. It was like Comic-Con. When we all got our Baroness, we all ended up in the toy aisle after, and we're taking pictures with each other. It felt like fucking Comic-Con. We don't have Comic-Con. We created Comic-Con at Target.
You definitely did. Your own, like, you know, we're in a community. We're fortunate enough to be in a community, whether it's toys, video games, comics. We all were outcasts at one time in American pop culture. You know, we were the nerds. We got used to bonding together. Now we're mainstream. You know, you're seeing middle-aged men all the way to, you know, kids collecting toys now. You know, my son, I passed on the tradition to them. I gave him his first Black Series fig. You know, he's gonna be 10, and I was like, time to be a big boy and start collecting. You know, so it's in our almost in our DNA at this point. Going into like the trend of people waiting inside lines and like you know, the people just being jerks, and the scandalous part of it of store employees maybe purchasing things themselves. Being a collector for as long as I have, I've seen this time and time again. The issue now is it's mainstream. Everybody's home and everybody's has the expendable cash. You see people, like you said, that wouldn't be collecting now in line trying to get these Baroness figs that are selling for ridiculous amounts of, you know, prices on eBay and on secondhand markets. Mm-hmm. So what's happening is that, like, I'll give you a quick little story of my own. I remember waiting outside of a Target. Toys R Us. And it was for Star Wars. They had Star Wars exclusives. That was a big Toys R Us thing. The, you know, Black Series, when they first came out, there was a lot of Black Series exclusives just for Toys R Us. You know, rest in peace. That was my store of stores. And we were out there like, right? Good old Jeffrey. So we would be out there, and I would say probably about 9 o'clock. You know, they close at 10, but they would have a midnight release. So we're all out there 9 o'clock. You know, you'd see the diehards like me. It'd be like 6 or 7 of us. There was one guy ahead of me. This guy was straight out of a Ralph Macchio bad guy 80s Karate Kid movie. I swear. He had the windbreaker pleather, slick back hair, Marlboro hanging off the lip, gold fake chain. I'm like, who is this freaking guy, right? Me and this kid in front of me.
Remember the New Bedford Wampanoag flea market? I bet it was that guy.
Dude, I used to go there and get all kinds of collectibles when I was younger. Yeah. So like, yeah, right?
Yeah, you go there and you see fucking Peter McNeely.
Yeah, right? Oh, I got my first pocket knife at like 10 there.
Bunch of pirates.
Yeah, right? But this guy, so he was in front of us, and he's like, hey, it was literally like you see in cartoons, or like the GIF with, what's his name there? When he goes, hey, young kids, you know, like that kind of thing. He's like, hey, guys, how are you? You like the toys too? And I'm like, this guy's a fucking greaseball. So he starts like going on about how he was the first person in line. I was the third. And there was a kid with his father. The kid was probably like 12, 13, maybe about 13. And the guy was kind of like, well, if I'm first in, started talking all kinds of smack. So I said, oh, yeah, how long you been collecting for, you know? And he starts giving me well, you know, the Luke Solo guy. He starts naming that totally wrong figures. I'm like, excuse me, I don't even know what you're talking about, dirtbag. And he just looked at me, and everybody started dying in line. I was like, you're one of those scalpers, aren't you? I was like, you can go flip this shit online. He's like, oh, no. All 12 people behind me started like just razzing them and saying, and then some people were so aggravated saying, if my kid doesn't get one because you buy them all, kind of thing. So I told the kid that was in front of me, I've been going to concerts since I was a kid. You know, they call me crowd control Ron. I can snake my way through front of the line every place I go. So I told the kid in front of me, I said, when the door opens, grab onto my coat, have your father follow. I'll take you right to where they are. This guy in front had no idea. So the lady says, everybody in. He goes straight down the typical alleyway that, you know, the flow of the store. I take a right, a left, a right, boom, right to the figures. Me and the kids I grab, oh yeah, we were there a good 10, 15 seconds before that guy. That guy gets in line. Now, I grabbed the whole shelf, the entire peg warmer. I pulled all the pegs right off. I have 8 of them in my hand, right, of the one exclusive we're all there for. And I start handing them out to people. Not him. Everybody behind him. He's like, oh, what about me? Because they had no limits at that time. They didn't know it would be like this. I had 13 figures in my hand. I only wanted one. So I hooked up everybody behind me and said, screw you, guy.
Dude, hey, Ronnie, not all heroes wear capes, man. That's all I'm saying. That's how I felt in NoHo, too. Everybody was like, you're the best. Thank you. It wasn't always that easy. Like I said, remember, I was like, I am the Cobra Karen. I don't care. Like, I was calling corporate, but I was still nice to the employees. Yeah. But remember that whole 814 street dated bullshit? Like,
yep.
I mean, even when I went to go get the wave that snuck out recently at Target.
It got released early or whatever.
Yeah, the 7 other ones. I went there and one Target employee was like a hawk. He like came swooping in with his scanner. He's like, I think that's street dated, man. Let me see it. And I almost I had it like down. I'm like, fuck. And it was like Mandalorian, Beskar armor and everything. He fucking like grabbed that shit and scanned. He's like, you're all right. He was like pissed almost. And he got confused with the other with the Galaxy's Edge ones that just came out. Yep. Those were street dated for $8.30. So
Walmart's notorious for that. At least up until this year. Previously, they would always drop stuff like a week before. You know, and I follow a lot of groups, a lot of Twitter accounts that say, hey, or you know, like they tweet you or you see a message and it's just like mass, you know, hey, this store has them early, or check your local, you know, Walmart because they're on shelves right now. Now, I think because of it's so mainstream, like you said, there's a lot of people that stuff hit and then they know at the registers already. That's not, if I had that happen to me with some of the Black Series back in January. I want Walmart, somebody I know in locally was like, hey, they got those figs. Aren't you collecting those? I was like, those ain't supposed to be out for a couple weeks. Lo and behold, they were at Walmart. So I went right to my local Walmart, ran right in, grabbed the ones I wanted, went to cash out. And when I got to the register, it actually scanned and it comes up, not for sale, pre-order or pre-sale. So the girl wouldn't even let me cash out with them. I was like, you know, I didn't give her a hard time. I understand.
Yeah.
But it was like, you know, now they're putting up
self-checkout, man. Self-checkout.
Yeah, right? Alarms would have went off, you know, security coming running, who knows?
Yeah, you're going to scan one of the other, like the Luke Yavin one.
Right.
And then, you know, do that whole thing. But, so all that stuff, Ronnie, sounds like a good mood. Now, dealing with Target, not just Target, Hasbro put us in this spot. And don't blame the people at Target. They're working in the pandemic and, you know, they got a job to do and they don't want to hear a bunch of whining, crying babies like me. No, but really, some of them have been a little scandalous, hiding them for themselves, scalping. Do I really blame them? Probably not. But the best part of it all, Ronnie, is the Facebook stories. Part of my entertainment in this pandemic has just been scrolling my timeline, which I never really do. And I'm playing video games or watching TV, and I get really distracted because of the just outrageous stories about collectors, wannabe collectors, hoarders, army builders, all these crazy new or old school G.I. Joe collectors going to Target. It's like every second something is posted with success stories, like a bunch of nerds smiling in the toy section. They got their Baroness, or the horror of some guy waited 4 hours at a Target for their truck to unload. How do you even know those DPCIs are on that truck? They might say that. Like, people are just going over the board. What's the silliest story you've heard, Ronnie?
Well, I've heard. I mean, there's been so many. I mean, there's been ones where people have straight up yelled and hollered and, you know, screamed at employees. And then they walk out with product. There's been stories of people arguing in parking lots. I mean, I think the overall comedic aspect is the GIFs. A lot of GIFs, a lot of memes going out. I know there's a lot of them, and I know we're gonna probably post some as well, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. Some of the stories I've heard, the one I heard today or yesterday was one guy had this story and about how some, there's a couple collectors in line and they're all ready to get whatever, the Baroness or Cobra Troopers or whatever it was, and someone ran by them, and they were talking, and they went to a manager, and the manager went to instant replay, flag on the play. Let's take a look at the camera footage under the tent. They went under the blue tent at Target to see who got to the toy first. There's no way. At this point, some people are just not even believing some of these stories, but I do. It's just outrageous and crazy.
Yep. Yeah, the referee had to call the 2-minute warning on that one and do a review of play. That is pretty funny. I mean, what lengths people are going to, in this toy craze that we have going on right now. And I know the exact story you're talking about. It sounded hilarious that but it shows that they were equal. They were fair enough to go to the footage. They were, fair enough to see who got it. I mean, most circumstances, you got to give it to these employees of these stores. They're putting up with a lot of crap.
Oh, definitely. There have been a lot of heroes amongst the bad as well. And I mean, just hearing about some other story, how in this one, people didn't believe as well that some old guy threatened someone's young child and grabbed the Baroness out of his hands and started calling him all kind of derogatory stuff. We'll absolutely not say on this show. And then you have those guys that are bragging on all these Facebook groups where there's stacks and stacks of Cobra Troopers, like 12 and 20 boxes, like like pallets of shit, just spending their whole paycheck on this stuff. It's
I've seen, to go into a little bit of a story there, I've seen that. I've seen where parents or not really parents, sometimes parents are just worse than kids or scalpers. I've seen them out firsthand. People grab things out of people's hands, grab things out of people's carriages. Black Friday has nothing on the gall that collectors or scalpers have. You think you heard stories of people rushing through stores or Walmart to get TVs on Black Friday. You ain't seen nothing till, like you said, you see a 40, 50-year-old grab something out of a kid's hand because he wants it either to resell or he wants to give it to his kid. I mean, I've seen it all. Like I'm a lifelong collector. I've seen it all, But there's definitely some good out there too. There's some, you see employees doing good things, like you said, with the whole taking it to the film.
Arranging the lines is the most appropriate ones. Even when I was in Beverly Hills and the manager just didn't want to have it, and he even was like, "Oh, what are you here for?" And even was like, he did not care. He was like, "I collect Power Rangers, Marvel Legends." I was like, "No, it's G.I. Joe." And he's like, "Oh, I don't care about that." And I'm like, you will though. You will though. And I didn't. And then they just were like, they brought out a roadblock, which was street dated, but they were going to sell it to me, but wave 2 wasn't. It was just like this whole thing. Then finally I'm like this is like early on, and a month ago, I'm going grocery shopping. I got my roadblock at customer service. The stock dude at the toy aisle was like, "They got something for you." And that's when I went to the customer service, and they had the whole box of wave 2 for me, and I was able to get some for my friends and stuff. Absolutely great.
I'm gonna give a little tip, big tip to the people out there. If you ever go to a store, any store, and you're looking for a collectible, don't go directly to that toy aisle and ask a young kid there. The perimeter. Look for a middle-aged person that doesn't look like they even know anything about toys. Ask them where it is, or ask them to look in the back. Because if you go to an employee that's younger, that's in the scene, that knows what they're worth, like we've mentioned in the scandals, they're the ones usually that are, putting things on shelves in the back or not cataloging it in right away. You go to somebody that has nothing to do with toys or don't care about toys or even, and they're most likely look it up on their SKU. They'll see it's there and they will get it for you. I know you had an example like that where a woman helped you. There was a guy arguing with somebody from the toy aisle, and maybe it was somebody from our Facebook group, but they went to the girl and one of the women there, and she was like, "Well, this isn't my department, but let me look it up." Lo and behold, they came out with a product for him, and while the other guy was sitting there haggling with a 18-year-old kid that doesn't want to bother because he knows
18-year-old scalper.
Yeah, right. I mean, I worked at GameStop for years, and I remember Amiibo craze, and we went. I was one of those filthy, flippers amiibos, man. You know, $12 and you make a killing. And I knew they were in stock at a GameStop in another town over. And I didn't want to shop at my own store, you know, the morality of it. And so I ended up going there just like everybody else, waited till release day, went outside, went in line, got in. And the guy said, oh, no, we don't have any. I'm like, don't bullshit a bullshitter. I work in the one in town center. I know how much you have. I know when you took it off the truck. You know, so people that know what they're worth, a lot of the time you'll see it like you know, they just put it aside or they don't skew it in right away. They keep it on the proverbial truck.
By now, all of Target. I don't care if you're
They
in
know.
the hosiery section. Hey, have you
Right?
checked the meat? I think they're
Right?
holding your beach head.
Right? Yeah. There's somebody in the garden section, and, you know, putting out mowers. Hey.
I'm just waiting for that PetSmart exclusive junkyard that comes with mutt.
Yeah. Oh, the 7-Eleven, you know, the way they're going, it'd be a 7-Eleven Snake Eyes with green, you know, Mountain Dew color or something.
Harley Davidson exclusive dreadnoughts. All right, guys, let's move on to the Weekly Plunder. This is our section where we talk about what we just picked up. And we did talk about, what is it, Galaxy's Edge. So we got some of those already. We showed you some of those, so that's part of it. But Ronnie, what did you get this week?
Well, I'm a big fan of deals and clearances and hidden prices. GameStop has some really good deals of the day, especially on figures lately. They've had 20% off Star Wars fig and so forth. But I actually picked up for half price a Comic-Con exclusive. It is the Wolverine. It's called the what is it called? The Triangle Love Pack is what we're calling it in the scene. So it has Wolverine. It has, let me see if I can see it. There we go. It has Wolverine. Yep. It has Cyclops, and of course it's got Jean Grey. With the variant long-haired version specifically for Comic-Con. That was really good find. I was happy with that. And it's just a deal of the day. I happened to get at GameStop, got the alert, like I say. And something else I picked up, if I can reach it, which is pretty cool. Another Comic-Con exclusive. This one was off eBay. I paid a little bit more than retail, but well below what it was worth. I got the, let's see if it shows up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the City Demon Predator. It's pretty awesome. Lights up, has lightning effects on the box and such. That was a really good find. I wanted that, and that was one of those that bots got it. They sold out. I was online F5 at 3 a.m, and before I could even cash out, it was already gone. So I was ready to go. You know, old school pro, man. I had everything, my card account in there and everything, and it sold out so fast. But luckily, I was able to get it.
Even like when all these classifieds went in like 8 seconds for the Cobra Island, NECA fans were like, welcome to our world.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You are 100% right. Yeah. I'm not a huge NECA collector, but I do when it comes to certain brand lines. I love the art, the look of the Predator figures. I know you got the Comic-Con Ninja Turtle 90s pack. Didn't you get that?
Oh yeah, that's by Playmates. Actually, it's a
Playmates,
reissue. Yeah, reissue. I did a little video on my Facebook for that, and that's I'm super happy with it. At first, I did the review, and I was actually negative on it, and then I said, you know what, I'm just gonna open the bastards. And once I opened it and found the perfect spot for it, it was like, I'm so happy I have my turtles when I was a kid. You know.
I was so jealous. I had my pre-order canceled. Good old GameStop. I had to cancel on me.
Are they known for that? Like canceling?
They have been since they acquired ThinkGeek. They acquired ThinkGeek years ago. They started carrying figs and such. Gotcha. But they're usually pretty good. I've never had an issue with them canceling my pre-order, but I just think that with all the chaos of distribution and whatnots, they just go overlooked. I heard nobody, like 1 in 10, maybe at most, got their order through GameStop for the Ninja Turtle release there. My last thing I actually got this week, if I want to show, is, I'm sure this is a little old news for everybody, but it is here we go.
I just got mine last week as well. Yeah, I got all the carbonized came in at once. It was like the carbonized Vader, then the carbonized Boba, then the carbonized Stormy. So I got them all in 1 week.
He is
pretty happy about that.
He is pretty. The packaging is pretty. The figure's pretty. Oh, I love it.
It's a great one. Yeah. As far as was it yesterday or the day before that? Vintage series Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Okay. Had to grab that one. Now, here's the deal. I was just like the TVC collectors out there, vintage collection, as you see behind me, I got Black Series. Didn't have to deal with that.
Yep.
But when it came to Marvel, you can ask Lance Paul, I had the whole, like a many 3 3/4, and let's see if you can see it. Too dark. And anyway, they're there anyway. The whole
Like, where'd you go?
the whole shebang. Well, you see me, right?
Yeah, I'm only kidding.
All right. Whoa! Did I ruin the show? No, but yeah, I have the Marvel Universal. I had most of the characters, and then Marvel Legends got just became the biggest thing. And I'm like, oh, I just can't justify going to going from 3 3/4 to 6. And I'm like, oh man. So I held up, and I'm like, okay, I got all these. And then finally I put them on display to make myself feel better about not having Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
And then this Doctor Doom came out. I'm like, I'm a big Doctor Doom fan, and I'm just like, it's $20. It's Amazon. It's really easy.
Yep.
It's got this
Free shipping with Prime. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I had the same exact figure when I was a kid, so I had to. And then just like I have that Amazing Spider-Man vintage one too, so I'm kind of on the fence on. I might have to get that one, and the price has dropped a little bit, so I might have to get that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marvel Legends, we will R.I.P. right, Chadwick Boseman.
Yep.
So I was like, look, I have hardly anything Black Panther except T-shirts. I got tons from the movie. I got Marvel Universe figure. I could never find his Funko before. Like, this is before the surge in the last couple days. And I was like, I would love to have a Funko in memory of Chadwick. I'm not trying to, I have nothing to sell, and I don't want to pay $100. So immediately I'm like, I better get this before the price goes up. Well, Macari, all those sellers canceled on me because they're like, as I'm buying it, they're seeing the news, and they're like, yeah, you're not getting this for $20. Sorry. I'm sure they reposted it somewhere else or whatever for $100. Hey, what are you going to do? You got it. But the last thing, I let it, I'm thinking about the movies. I'm thinking about him as a man. I just went and saw his whole filmography from IMDb. I usually don't even buy movies unless they're streaming. I bought movies on Amazon Prime. I'm like, I want to see everything Chad Bose has done. And it was tremendous to go through it all. But thankfully, as you saw earlier, I got the Black Panther. I got 3 more coming, and they're not to resell. I think I got my Best Buy pre-order in. Let's see if they cancel, because Best Buy actually had them, and no one was looking for Best Buy. Best Buy figures?
Dude.
Who thinks that? Right?
Best Buy is a gold mine. That's a place nobody ever thinks of.
Nobody thinks about it. They think GameStop and Target and Walmart and all that, and all the third parties. No one thinks Best Buy. I went on Best Buy. I was like, my eyes lit up. I was like, Marvel Legends, Black Panther. They were already going. This was within an hour of the news, or 2 hours of the news, and they were already going for $80, $100. Today they're $100. And people
secrets out right there. Let me label this as another tip.
Best Buy, another tip.
Yeah, Best Buy. I mean, we'll let it out of the bag, but it is. I found so many figs at Best Buy when they were sold out everywhere else, especially with the Black Series, Pops too. Believe it or not, they sell a lot of stuff that people don't realize because you think Best Buy Electronics. If you ever see your Target or your any kind of websites out of a toy, give them a try. You might pay a little more because sometimes they actually have a markup of like $5-6, but they'll have it.
Exactly. So just to close out that story is, man, I just wanted more T'Challa. Who doesn't? You know what I mean? Without having to pay these scalper prices. Luckily, I paid some moderately solid prices. I think $30, $35 for 2 of the other Marvel Legends. And they actually went through. I bought 2 of the Vibranium Walmart exclusives. I mean, before all this, they were going for like $10.
Yeah.
And they're not going for $10 anymore. I was able to get 2 for roughly $30, and thankfully Dave had a Funko, and he's doing it. He's a great guy, just like us. He's not trying to make money. He had an extra Black Panther Civil War Funko. We're doing an even swap. So Wakanda forever. Okay. All right, so that's Weekly Plunder, and it's been the show. Let's just talk about what we got. What is it? What's your segment called that we might do next week?
Well, we're going to be introducing a segment called Ron's Hot Rod and Deals, something we're going to incorporate in the shows whenever there's big deals going on around the day or 24 hours within our filming. I'll be posting the best deals for the week that I find, anything toy related. I know we're going to be doing that segment. We're we've commented a lot on nostalgia content. We're going into the season right now for toys. You got holiday shopping. Every Hasbro pre-order is going to be dropping. I mean, it seems like everything from January till now, everything has like a September, October, December release. So we'll be doing like toy release showings, like you had noticed said too, Travis, that we're going to be doing not really unboxings, but more of like minor unboxings, maybe showing what we have when things come in throughout the throughout our season that we're hopefully going to be doing. We're gonna have more guests from our chat group, the Smugglers Run. These guys are a bunch of cool people, all common mind, common thoughts on toys and collecting. We
And
should
what's
have them on the
great
show.
is, if I can interrupt you for a
Yeah,
second,
go ahead.
is I think the chat room's like 14, 15-ish people, and they all kind of specialize in, like, we have our Power Rangers guy,
Yeah.
we have our WWE guy, we have our Marvel Legends guy, our Transformers guy, our G.I. Joe guy, and like they all have, you know,
Yeah,
multiple
we have a big
stuff.
diverse group.
Yeah,
Definitely
it's
diverse
awesome.
group of
Lego
different people that want
girl
to
and
collect.
everything.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, it's a good resource for us too. I mean, so like we're planning on, we'll do some special special topics as well. When HasCon Pulse comes out, we'll be hopefully doing a show on that, specifically covering everything they covered.
Yeah,
the
maybe.
toys, right?
Yeah, maybe next week we can preview HasCon. If nothing, I'm sure a million things will come out in the meantime, and we'll probably have to call an audible on that one, our target instant replay audible. But
Right.
but otherwise, yeah, we could probably preview HasCon next week, Hasbro Pulse Con. We could probably go deep into the product and let everyone know what their plans are as they let us know. So yeah, that's the plan for now. We hope you guys love the show. Ronnie, kick ass, man. This was fun.
This was a good time. I mean, like I'll just want to reiterate, this is the first, hopefully, of many. We have a lot of content coming your way. We have everything from unboxings, specials, special guests throughout. As long as we get the likes and people want our content, we'll keep on doing it. I mean, the sky's the limit. We're all fans of toys. We all have a lot of inputs. I mean, it's going to be a really good time. A lot of good info for you people out there.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Man, I'm not so moody after doing that show. I feel really good. I'm in a good moody. It was a toy kind of moody, Ron. Thanks again.
Thank you, everybody. I hope you all enjoy.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.